Welcome to Rice TVX and the newest episode of the Rice Crypto Show. Give me a 5x5 if you can hear me loud and clear. Today I am joined by Crypto Blood from CBTV. We're going to be talking about his awesome cryptocurrency tool, Bloodalytics. Going to be talking about the blood effect. Then we're going to be getting some 2023 predictions from the infamous Cryptodamus. Holla. I came here, chew bubblegum, kick some ass. And you know what? I'm out of that bubblegum. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's live stream here on Rice TVX. Going to get the show started for you in just moments. Make sure you are subscribed here at Rice TVX, as well as my sister channel, Rice Against the Grain. And you can sign up for my mailing list at Rice TVX. And make sure you're paying attention to this channel promo for everything happening in the world of rice. Before we get into it, make sure you visit ricetvx.com and sign up for my mailing list so you never miss an update or new Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain content. You will also find links to all of my various channels as well as my social media. Make sure you're following both of my YouTube channels, Rice TVX as well as Rice Against the Grain. And due to censorship, make sure you're following me on other alternative platforms such as Rumble and Odyssey, where I do post up exclusive content. If you want to support Rice TVX, be sure to check out and join my Patreon channel, where you will get early access to my videos with no ads, unedited. You will also get exclusive content and more. And once again, on today's show, I am joined by my brother from another mother, Mr. Crypto Blood from CBTV, and we are live streaming on both of our YouTube channels. So if you're watching us on Rice TVX, make sure you're subscribed over at CBTV, and if you're watching on CBTV, make sure you are subscribed here at Rice TVX. And as always, nothing that we talk about is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Always do your own research. And before we begin, a few quick messages from the sponsors of Rice TVX. You can always find information in every video description for Presearch and Monarch Wallet. Oh, yeah. Now, something I did want to share with everybody, just in case you don't know, I have a promotional partnership with ITM Trading. This is for people that are looking to basically build a wealth shield. I encourage you, if you're interested in strategizing with ITM, to make sure you're using my specific Calendly link to schedule or a specific 800 number for my channel, which is 866-516-5028. And this landing page, they will be linked down below in the video description, and I will also put them in the pinned comment section. But when it comes to bulletproof strategies to protect against a currency reset, hyperinflation, and a global economic reset, I go to my good friend, Lynette Zhang from ITM Trading, and the gold and silver analyst over there as well. Lynette's no stranger to Rice TVX, check out the playlist in my playlist section with all the previous interviews. They are the true experts and pioneers in strategic portfolios that protect all of your major assets. And this is for a minimum of $5,000 investment. So this is for people that are looking to preserve their savings and the wealth that they have accumulated. I have other partnerships that you guys can take advantage of for smaller versions of silver, and that is with Money Metals Exchange. You can get a free half ounce of silver. They don't have minimum orders. It's not a $5,000 minimum to do a wealth shield. You can just get a few ounces of silver if you like. You can get a free half ounce of silver with my partnership. Both ways you can support the channel. But what you would do for Money Metals is head over to moneymetals.com, be a first-time buyer, purchase a minimum of $100 worth of goods, use the promo code RICETVX. That is a new code. It used to be RICE, but the new promo code is RICETVX. Use that at checkout. You get a free half ounce of silver, and it's another way that you could support RICETVX, and it would be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, I am joined by my brother from another mother, Mr. Crypto Blood from CBTV. What is going on, my friend?
Hey. Let me lick a shot real quick. There we go.
It's good seeing you, my friend.
Man. You too. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man, and I really appreciate you taking time to join me on short notice. I hit you up yesterday and asked if you wanted to do this. I felt like it was perfect timing with everything that's going on, kind of going into 2023. I want to start using Bloodalytics, and I do want to get...
You've been in the room. I've had you in the room since the beginning.
I know.
Ain't taking advantage of it. Let's do it for 2023, baby.
We're going to do it, and I'm going to be very public with what I'm doing with it as well. To let people know, they can get a discount using my promo code with this, and it is an additional way that you can support the channel. And all the ways you can support us content creators are always greatly appreciated. You can get a 25% discount using promo code RICETVX25 at checkout over at not only CryptoBlood.io, but you can also head over to his other website, Bloodalytics.com. I was trying to get everything set up with the screen share. So here is CBTV. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you're not already subscribed. And then we'll go ahead and pull up CryptoBlood.io. You will see a link, Trade with Blood, and that will take you to Bloodalytics.com. Monthly performance total gain. Now, is this based off of the month of December or what? Oh, it's September. Never mind.
Yeah, that's September. I never updated that pop-up, but if you click out of that, you can always see the month-to-month performance if you scroll further down, and then you click on either of those charts there up at the top.
Either one of these charts?
You'll see like the first one is Bitcoin, then you have Ethereum and the Binance one. But if you click that, then you'll see I track it every month, the performance for that pair, for each pair.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I was trying to click it and it wasn't pulling up anything. There we go. So first quarter, September through October. Then you get the November performance. October, September.
Yeah, so I don't know of any other. I'm sure there are, but I don't know of any other trading services that are this transparent.
Now, is this a bot or is it a signal service?
It's a signal service at the current moment. Okay, one of my members we're working on, and I have to meet with him next week. We're working on integrating the signal to your actual trading account. So we're still working on that. But
okay, cool.
Eventually, all current Bloodalytics members will be able to take advantage of that.
Well, and I definitely...
I got low volume.
I can hear you. I didn't think it was low, but thank you, Three Mics. I appreciate it.
Three Mics. Yep, appreciate it.
It's good seeing everybody in the house. Good seeing you, Bobcat. Mr. X.
Bobcat.
Mr. X. Okay, so yeah, Bloodalytics, man. I mean, again, I'm not an active trader, but I really see this year as being very, I'm calling it a bear grab. A lot of sideways action. I mean, I think we will have some up and down movement and stuff to that effect, but a lot of sideways action. Very boring and not easy for just general trading. So that's where I wanted to start an account with X amount. And because I would like to see some of my subscribers, some of my viewers take advantage of this. And that's kind of why I want to be very transparent with the journey. One thing that I haven't done in the past, I would bring other guests on to talk more about trading, but I'm actually going to try to be a little bit more active in the trading element. And I think,
Yeah.
sharing that kind of information with everybody, because the more that we can all collectively move forward, the better I think that we can collectively all do together.
Yeah, the
So,
thing that so have you traded in the past at all? At any
yeah,
capacity?
I've traded. I'm just not a very
Okay.
good trader when it comes down to
Okay.
it.
So that's a good start, I would say, if because what I've seen with previous signups, just being totally transparent, people who have never traded before many times have difficulty with Bloodalytics
Okay, why do you say
because
that?
they're not used to losing. Trading is about being okay with losing. So they'll trade, and I don't know when they sign up. So you could be signing up in the middle of or at the end of a winning streak as we head into a losing streak, and so your perception of it and the profitability of it is going to look skewed or different than someone who signed up right before the start of a winning streak.
Yeah,
So it's very important that people understand in trading, there is no system that is God mode. Every trade is correct, or you have like a 90% profitability. You can,
oh, well,
but
if you run the exchange, you might be able to say something like that.
okay. So if you're arbitraging or money, or if you're making the market, you can possibly do that.
Yeah,
Other than that, you're not going to see. And the only other scenario, right? So you can see a very very high percent profitability is if you don't trade that much. If the signal doesn't trade much, right? I can make a system that says it's right 80% of the time. I can do that. But you only trade once a month or once every 2 months or something like that, and you're going to miss a lot of action.
yeah.
So the more granular you are with the system, I'm talking from me as a quant trader and developing systems. The more you're in the weeds with it, the lower that profitability is going to come down. Percentage of right or wrongs are going to come down, but the wins are going to outpace the losses every time if it's a profitable system.
And like you said, I mean, you're going to have, I mean, not every single trade is going to be profitable in a winning trade. I mean, even people like Gareth Soloway with 20 plus years experience still has bad trades, bad calls. You can't be 100% all the time, but the idea is that if you have more profits than losses, then you're in the green, and that's ultimately what you're wanting. I mean, I'm not talking like very small percentages either. So I mean, since based off looking at your website, since August 15th, Bloodalytics is up 35.7% in profit.
I'm
Is
trying
that
to look at my chat to see what people are saying about my volume. So I'm sorry. What you say now?
the Bloodalytics since August 15th? Is that when it
Yep.
started? Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
it's up 35.7% in profit.
35% 35.7%, and that is only trading 3x your account.
So if you would have had $1,000 in your account, you would be up an additional roughly 350.
Yeah, yeah,
Which,
exactly.
that's like basically like it says here, like a little over 1/3 of that amount. So, I mean,
Exactly.
if you could do something like that, even just monthly, imagine how much that you're able to stack. But you got to
Right.
definitely understand the risks. And one thing that I always want to tell people when it comes to trading is, one, don't trade with anything that you're not willing to lose. So you got
Yeah.
to go in with that, and then taking emotion out of it. And I think that's
Oh
where
man, that's it.
signals and stuff, and being able to identify with profitable good traders is a good way for you to start the process of shedding the emotion. Because when we think about terms like FOMO and FUD, which are trading related terms, fear, uncertainty, doubt, fear of missing out, it's emotion based.
Yeah,
So
but even people, again, I have to go back to just having people signed up in this when I launched in August. I've had a few people that gotten very frustrated because they were losing. I'm like, well, we're all losing at this current point. You know what I mean? You
Right.
have to trade through the losses in order to get to the wins, but you got to keep your trade sizes the same. That's the key. Money management is the number one key, Rice, as you go into this journey of trading with Bloodalytics or any system. It's money management. You got to trade the same amount every time. And as you double your account, triple your account, then you increase your trade sizes.
Or take profit.
What do you mean?
Like pull out some of that like initial investment. Let's say you start out with a $4,000 account based off just this right here saying based on a 4K account. You're able to within a certain time period, let's say within 3 or 4 months, able to take your $4,000 and turn it into 8. I would suggest take your 4 out that you initially used. So now you're just playing with house money.
I do it a slightly tad bit
And you can
differently
compound it.
than
You can
that.
you can keep taking your profits and compounding it, and then just keep increasing what the returns will be. But I like to play it
So
safe too.
what I do is every week, if it's a profitable week above my principal, I take that out. I pay myself.
Okay,
Literally, because I trade for revenue. I trade for money,
yeah,
for income.
it's part of how you
Um,
exist.
yeah, exactly. So every week, if there's a profitable week, I'm taking above the principal out. That's to one, we know what's going on with all these centralized exchanges. I don't care who you trade with. No one ever thought the FTX was going to go down. 99% of people didn't, right? The biggest exchange,
No, I mean
Super
it wasn't
Bowl,
expected.
exactly, wasn't expected. So you just don't know. That's one reason. But the second reason is it just allows you to keep your risk per trade in check. So if you only have 4,000 in the account, and let's say first month you make $1,500, take that 15 out again. I do it every week though. Take that out and keep the principal in there. It keeps you in line with how much you're risking per trade. So when I suggest Rice at a $4,000 account, you only trade or risk in margin $400 per pair. That's max. That's 10% of margin per pair,
Right.
if that
And the
makes
more that
sense.
you're doing that with more pairs, the more that you kind of
The
have a
higher
better
that risk
ratio.
is.
Well, yeah, but you have a better ratio too if you have winning profitable trades.
Yeah, so the more pairs that are trading, that you're actively trading, it does tend to smooth out the drawdowns on other pairs. Like for example, at the end of the quarter, the first quarter of Bloodalytics, if you scroll down a little bit and go to Ethereum up, I'm sorry, up a little bit, the one on the right, the chart on the right there, hit the view last month's performance Ethereum. Yep, there.
Want to let it
And
load. Takes
yep,
a minute to
and
load
so
up. I don't know if it's my
so
internet.
I don't
But
know.
here
It's
we are.
probably I gotta
It's probably my internet because I've been
cache.
having some issues. I need to get in touch with these fucking
So
people.
if you scroll down, you'll see that chart right there. Go back up. It said -3%. Up one more. Scroll up a little bit more.
This
That
one?
chart right there. Yeah, I think you can click on it and expand it. I don't know. Maybe you can't. No, you can't.
No.
So
But I
this
can
this is the
increase the size.
okay. So as you can see here, Rice, with Ethereum on October 3rd, I talk about this all the time. October 31st, the system just the market, Ethereum was just going back and forth, and the system kind of broke down, and we took back all the gains we had since the beginning of that month, not month, but quarter. So we ended up down 154 bucks on Ethereum,
Right. But that was
but
just Ethereum specifically,
that was
not
just Ethereum specifically, right?
okay.
Because the other two compensated, and that's how we got to um, over 50% returns for quarter one, Q1.
Now I know a lot of your past is based off of like quant trading. Can you explain a little
Mm-hmm.
bit about what quant trading is and how you have come up together, like how you came up with your algorithm?
Yeah, so my background actually, Rice, is computer science. I went to school, went to college for computer science with a concentration in software engineering. Dropped out my senior year because I knew it was a scam. I only went to college because my parents was like, "You got to go to college." your forefathers,
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks died. Oh, you know all that stuff, right? So I went to college, man.
The
I
weight
went
of
to
the world
college.
on your shoulders. You're like, man, fuck all that.
Exactly. Uh, so I ended up dropping out because I started a web development company that I was making more money than my professors in college. I'm sitting in there like in class, like, man, this is retarded. You're not even teaching me what's going on in today's industry. You're teaching me stuff from 5, 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I
no,
knew
that's
that then.
crazy.
This is '03, man, like '02, '03. I knew that then. So anyway, that I had my background in software engineering, but I also had a passion for trading, and I started trading at 18.
You were doing Forex
Opening
back then?
no share builders. I started trust trading stocks. Actually, not even trading. I was just investing. I wasn't trading. I wasn't actively trading. When I got over to E Trade, I want to say that was in 2005. I think I opened my E Trade account. I started to actively trade and lose all my money. So then I got frustrated, left there, went to FX, foreign exchange, right? Huge leverage. I think back then they were allowing 1,000 to 1. So very exciting. In that period, we didn't have crypto, right? So there was the concept of having the ability to trade day and night, with the exception of Friday evening until Sunday evening. It was like a day and a half break, but other than that, it was open. So that was
Right.
like exciting. So learned a lot there. Then I think a few years into that, I started to create algo or systematic systems on MT4, which is MetaTrader 4, and I kind of went from there, man. But
That's cool,
MetaTrader
man.
4 has its bugs and it's inaccurate with in regards to how you backtest, because as a quant trader, you rely on previous performance to somewhat indicate or project what your future performance is going to be, your future profits. So you got to have a reliable back testing engine, and MetaTrader just was never that reliable. So thank God, when crypto, we came along in crypto, and finally TradingView. I love TradingView. TradingView is probably the best charting software I've seen. I know it's cloud based, but it is definitely on point. So they have a great and reliable back testing system.
It seems to be
Um,
one of the most used systems out there too, TradingView.
yeah, I don't know if it is or not. I've never looked at the stats, but a lot of people do use it, and especially crypto made it very popular.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Well,
great.
yeah, I mean, some of the stuff I mean, I kind of knew, but I appreciate you filling in the blanks with kind of that background of the trading aspects and the quant trading and stuff and the FX. So I definitely encourage people to check out the Bloodalytics tool. Again, I encourage people to make sure that you guys are using my referral link. If you're watching here on my channel, you can get 25% off using code RICETVX25 at checkout at bloodalytics.com, or you can go to cryptoblood.io and click on Trade with Blood.
Yeah, I
Um,
suggest that people, at minimum, just because of the cost of the service, um, of course, I suggest doing a 12-month or 6 month. That'll give you the most time to, see the performance of it. 3 months is fine. That's the minimum. But I mean, 3 months is like a roll of the dice, man. It's like you could in that time frame be profitable. I haven't had a month where I haven't been profitable yet. But again, it just depends on when you start. Like I start my month on the 15th. That's when I started the service, August 15th. So every month is the 15th of every month is a month, a closing of the month. So the date range is going to determine or modify your results in that time frame.
all the red
Good
is turning
gulag.
gulag on. And he says, get used to the taste of cat food. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing that, but yeah. Um,
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like a reference to what's happening economically and the food sources and how expensive food could potentially get. On a side note, now I met a guy that lives probably like 6 or 7 houses down from where I'm at, and he won't do an interview. He will not do an interview. But this guy is one of the, I forgot what he said his actual position is, but he works for the Bureau of Labor Statistics. He's part of the team that puts together the CPI data that gets released every month. I'm like, how the fuck does someone like this live this close to me? And he won't talk to me about anything at all. Actually, because he said he's not allowed.
No,
he can't tell me if we've hit peak, and if he feels like we've hit peak inflation, none of that stuff. He can't. He also mentioned that he can't do any investments over $1,000 without the information becoming public. Which I've that thing.
Good.
Yeah, but then I brought up Nancy Pelosi. I'm like, how can these people who are supposed to be Congress and senators, how are they able to allow for their family members? It's bullshit, is what I'm saying.
She created the law.
But the little guy,
the one who creates the law always creates it for their advantage.
That's exactly. But the little guy who works at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, he said that every investment he does over 1,000 has to be, public information, like almost as if he's a security.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So what are we looking at here?
So when you sign up, you get this chart, and you need to have a pro account level TradingView account. You got to have that to see these charts properly.
Because is it because it uses
13
more indicators?
No, I trade on the 13-minute chart. It's a custom interval.
Yeah, you were saying something about get me stuck at 13 yesterday. 13 is one of my lucky numbers. What is your fascination with 13?
Hey, secret sauce.
Secret sauce. Okay.
I ain't go into that.
So I'm referencing
esoteric.
Blood and I were
numerology stuff.
Yeah. The two of us were on Around the Blockchain yesterday. If you guys didn't catch that episode, you should check it out.
Yes, we were. So,
I don't know if I broke your winning streak or not.
Yeah, you did.
Did I? Cool.
No. I lost the week before.
Where were you on that?
You tend to win. I think
a lot.
We were, weren't we?
I win a lot, and it's like I have #tired of winning. I would like for them to go back and like look at all their guests and see how many times each guest has won and see who has the best ratio.
Clearly,
I like to think I'm the champion.
Their voting strategy is very subjective.
Skewed. It's very skewed.
And they're not looking at the chat room to.
I think Drew and BJ like me. Drew specifically. Clearly. Yeah. So
I like Drew likes me as well, but Drew is cool. I love Drew. I talk to him.
I love those guys. But yeah, it does. That's why that's why sometimes I'll just like throw my points to somebody else. I mean, there's been times that I've won that I've let other people speak, or I've given it to somebody else just to fucking piss somebody else off, or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, this is the chart you'll get when you sign up as a visual aid for you to know what's going on. If I expand this here,
TradingView offers referrals, don't they?
I'm not sure.
I have to look into that because I don't have a pro account and I need to upgrade to a pro account.
Yeah, you may want to look into that. They may have referrals. I'm not sure.
If they do, I mean, I'll let people know because I want to start, like I said, I want to start getting more active. I want to start using Market Cipher as well. I want to try to use as many tools as I can to be as profitable as I can in a couple different arenas.
Right. So, you'll see the arrows on the charts, green arrow meaning buy, purple or red meaning sell. And these alerts get pushed to the Telegram room that you'll be a part of as well. And that's where your actual alerts come to you on your phone. Now, people say, well, what if I'm asleep? Well, I have to tell you, man, I actually don't miss many of my trades. Now, I'm a trader, so maybe that's just me being used to having to wake up out of my sleep. But if you're in like the Eastern Standard Time zone or somewhere close, Central, we don't get too many trades for whatever reason, too many big trades through the night. But I'm up to like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, so maybe that's why. And I may go to sleep like 2 or 3, and I wake up around 11 or 12 usually. So I don't know.
I go to sleep around 1, 2, and try to get up around 10.
Okay.
Because, if I go to sleep at 1, I'm usually getting up around 9. But I kind of, as I'm getting older, I definitely need to get as close to my 8 hours.
Correct. Yeah, I get 8, 9, 10. hours. But I have a
That's the
very
blood effect.
annoying sound, and I have this in the tutorial when you guys sign up. I set the sound for the Telegram room that you're in. I set a very annoying cat owl or screech that is
So it'll catch your
very,
attention.
yes, it catches everyone's attention. So
Okay, cool.
that's how
All
I
right,
do
man.
that.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to share this. And as I get stuff set up, I'll do more videos with or without you in regards to Bloodalytics. But I'm definitely going to be
Yeah, let me
utilizing.
show you really quickly. So that's a chart that you get. I'm trying to find here. Give me a second. I need
No
to
problem.
find the actual.
While you're doing that, are you going to be going live later on your channel for a regular live stream?
No, I'm not. This is only one for today.
Okay, cool. I just figured we
Yeah,
promoted if you were. I
there
want to
we
make
go.
sure people go check out those previous episodes that we've done recently on both of our channels. Think it's been like 3 conversations over the past month that I've come on Sundays, or the
Mm-hmm.
review on a Saturday that we did last week. Look at that
Yeah,
technical
those are
stuff.
great. Those are great. And I think I'm gonna have Life on soon as well. So
Okay.
these are okay, so this is the chart that actually shows the strategy. So in TradingView, you can have signals which are just will just show dots or put objects on the actual screen, or you can have you can have the actual strategy. Now the strategy is what I code, okay, to then do my back testing under the strategy tester here. So I code my logic for the actual script, and then I back test it, as you guys can see here, the strategy tester.
So back
So
testing
this
is
is
like just kind of like a fake
adding,
stack
yeah,
in the past to see if you would have utilized this, what the percentage would be based off of profits and losses.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And so this is where the quantitative part of it comes in, because it's all based on numbers. It's black and white. There's no I think, or I said this in the past, but then I really, it's not subjective. It's purely objective. And yeah, man, if you go out, you can just you can go through different date ranges and pick certain areas to take a look at. Um, Ethereum overall is my most profitable one. If I go back, today is the 6th, I can date range it back to uh, the beginning of 2022. Just kind of give you a whole year's worth of performance here. And you can see here, if I add the buy and hold line, you'll see the green line is your equity curve
Okay.
with my system mapped on Ethereum for a whole year in 6 days, essentially, right? So you're
Nice.
talking about here $4,000, $4,260 per trade. So this is almost a dollar for dollar, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna help you understand what that means. So I can skew this, right, and say we're trading 8,000 on leverage, right? 8,000 per trade on a $4,000 account, and I can skew this and make it look even better. But I'm literally, that's giving you 225% return. And people trade way higher than they trade like crazy high.
Right, but you're just
I mean,
using like very,
people
very
do,
low,
yeah, people do 4x,
and you're just talking
5x.
2x right now, right?
Well, in this scenario, yes, this is 2x.
Because you're
This
doing
is
with 8,000
this
with
is eight
$4,000 in your
thousand,
account.
right? So the reason I do a low amount is because most people aren't willing to stick through drawdowns. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm sure you
And
just don't you
higher
don't
and higher.
necessarily and most people don't encourage higher leverage unless you really know what the hell you're doing.
Right, and you're used to drawdowns, and you're used to drawing your account down into seeing your profits go away. So what I mean by that is, and also you risk the higher your leverage is, Rice, the more you risk actually blowing your account or heading towards zero, where then you have no money. So in the scenario, I'm going to give you a perfect example of that. So I'm going to do 16,000. So that's 4 times my initial capital per trade. So you got that on leverage. So I'm gonna do that. That'll run it, and it'll show you we did 451%, $18,000 you made if you made every trade last year with this system. Okay,
On Ethereum alone.
on Ethereum alone, the drawdown max drawdown was 28%. But let me show you a date range. This is where we kind of drew down the account on August the 31st, going into the new year, I believe, or November. Let's do November, August 31st to November 20th. That was a bad period for this system. So if I go to that range,
I mean, at least you're not showing like you're just trying to blow smoke up people's asses. That's one of the things I love about you, man. Is just the fact that you're transparent and honest about this stuff.
yeah, absolutely, man. Because at the end of the day, I mean, your word is is all you have, right?
Your word is bond, man.
Your word is bond. So look, I would have blown my account if I was trading 16x, and let's just say for whatever reason I signed up with Bloodalytics on the worst day possible, August 31st, right? You would have blown your account because your drawdown, your zero line is right here. There's no way you would have traded all this way. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you don't know where you enter the trades. So that's why you scale up to your more aggressive trades once you get your profits. You bank your profits. If I come back down to 4,000 even and do this, you'll see it's only a 37% drawdown. So you're still, that's somewhat palatable. You can deal with that through that period. Now, if I come back out here and keep the 31st in there and go out to today, you'll see we're starting to trend upwards. From the bottom here was the low, and we're starting to try to trend back out of that loss. But again, it just depends on what time frames you pick.
Right.
You know, I can go back to May 1st, and it's going to show you a totally different time result. You know, you're talking about 77% returns since May 1st, the same system. So
Okay.
you have to just understand and zoom out, guys, and understand this is nothing overnight. You're not gonna become rich overnight. It's a process, and I'm telling you, it works, man. It definitely works. Crypto Mindset Reset Trading and DeFi Summit coming soon. Oh yeah.
You notice
Bryce and
I
I
was
part of
going to
that.
highlight this because since you mentioned it, I want to bring this up. You see how DeFi was spelled, and there's been some people when I did the last interview with Reggie and I put something about DeFi on there. I put DEFI because that's how everybody knows it. It's decentralized
Yeah.
finance. But now
Yeah.
we have distributed finance, which is DIFI. But then there's
Oh my
DEFI.
God.
It's like what's is it? Are we trying to confuse people? I would rather just
There's a
stick with
difference
DeFi.
though.
Well then what do you see the difference as a decentralized finance versus distributed finance?
I mean, you look at the definition of distributed and decentralized. They're two totally different things. Two totally different things. Not two totally, but they're relatable.
Well, yeah,
They're
because in order for
related,
something
but
to be decentralized, it needs to be distributed.
correct. Correct.
So
But
it's kind of
one
like
is
a
more
combination of I just looked at them as being very similar words for the same thing. I just
I
think
don't know,
it's
man.
confusing too because nobody really. I would be like, what are we talking about? Diffie, Crypto Mindset Reset
Diffy.
Trading, and Diffie Summit. I
Is
guess
it
it would be.
faster than Wi-Fi? Omar says Wi-Fi. Ooh man, that's hilarious. So I had some
DiFi.
questions. Di-Fi. I had some questions over here on
Yeah,
my
that's the only thing
end.
that sucks is not being able to highlight the comments.
So I'm
So,
sorry I'm not seeing these guys.
what are the
Let's see
questions?
here. There was one. I'm trying to find it now. I can't find it.
I did see one about transferring profits into cash to pay bills.
Yeah,
How are you
I think that
transferring
was
your
it.
profits into cash to pay bills? Well, you can take you could do stable coins, and depending, you can have a Coinbase card. You could put the
Yeah, I
profits
use a
in
car. I use
Bitcoin.
cards.
You could
I
put the
use
profits in Bitcoin and throw it on your Cash App.
Yep, yep. You can do that. I got
There's
banned from Cash App on.
crypto.com.
I
You
got
got
banned from
banned
Cash App on crypto side. Yeah,
for what?
I was doing too much.
Like
And
trading, buying
one,
and selling?
well, yeah, selling, selling. Because
You
I
hit your
was giving
limit?
them, I was using them as a conduit.
As an off ramp.
Yeah.
Was the fee good?
Yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
But they want more information, and I refused to give them more information.
Oh, they want double KYC
Mm-hmm.
or extra EKYC, the extra,
Mm-hmm.
but not Divvy. No, I
But
get it's
yeah,
not Divvy.
yeah, I do. I use cards. I use crypto cards, and you know, with Fairdesk, everything is settled in USDT anyhow. So you
Well,
just send that
I
out.
mean, so I'm a big fan of precious metals. And one thing that I will notate is like if people did want to like use my code here to get the free half ounce of silver with Rice TVX at checkout, what people can do is instead of actually selling your crypto, if you wanted to buy gold and silver, you can actually do that through Money Metals Exchange. They accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which I think is a really cool thing. So instead of actually selling your crypto and making a taxable event, you know, you could do something like this as well. And then you could take the gold or silver and just sell it at a local dealer for cash. And then there's no transaction, no trace, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I like stuff like that.
That's a way to do it. Absolutely.
So there's a couple
I
different
didn't
options.
think about that.
Definitely a couple of different options. And then, so like another thing, you know, I'm not the hugest Coinbase fan, but the Coinbase card has its own customer service. Anytime I've had issues, I've been able to talk to people and actually get, you know, resolution and get things fixed. And I'm not sure about crypto.com, but I'm right now getting, you can get up to 1% to 4% back with what you're spending on the Coinbase card. So like 1% in Bitcoin, Polygon, and Ethereum, and I think it's 4% in Stellar. So I mean, if you're paying $1,000 a month for rent, you know, and you're getting 4% back on that, you know, and you're doing that with all your utilities and all those kind of things. I mean, all that stuff does add up. And then you could take and trade your 4% of Stellar for other cryptocurrencies. There's a lot of different ways that people can accumulate. But I'm going to put you on the spot, man. I want to put you on the spot because another thing that people may or may not know of you as, I mean, I'm sure that people watching on CBTV are familiar with your alter ego, Cryptodamus.
Cryptodamus, baby. Let's
Yeah,
get it.
you've made some really good predictions in the past, man. I mean, you were one of the first that was calling for sub 20K Bitcoin back when I was telling you that you were cray as fuck, and you were right.
I made a lot of predictions, even not related to crypto in my life, man. I guess I just have a gift of seeing, being a good. So I read a book called Super Forecaster. You guys should check that out. I can't remember the name of the author, but it's called Super Forecasting, and that's the actual thing. And it's a way that you can hone in your skills on forecasting the future with certain things or doing certain things. But anyway, man, I predicted that college was a sham back in 0203. I'm like, this is going to be irrelevant. Now, this is in the early days of Google, right? So this is not like information was just not. I wouldn't even say just being accessible to our fingertips. Everything, it wasn't there yet, but I could see that we were going in that trend and we were going in that direction. I said, you know, college is going to be irrelevant. Boom. Where are we today? My mom, I have to remind her all the time now. Like, look, Ma, you see what's going on. College is the biggest scam.
Well, then they teach you bullshit too. I mean, like when I was going to school for business administration, a lot of the things I was learning in economics was bullshit, and that was one of the things I was telling the guy from the Bureau of Labor Statistics is like, I think I have like 2 or 3 courses left to get my 2-year associates, and I just said fuck it because now eventually I think, you know, here soon I may potentially just do it just for myself to say, you know, to say that I completed it, but it's not as if I'm gaining anything because it drove me into cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And then it drove me into understanding, like, because like when I was trying to explain to people that were my professors about the Federal Reserve not being part of the federal government, that it's a private banking institution.
They had no clue.
No, and they're arguing with me that the Federal Reserve is part of the government, and
Damn, that's so crazy, bro.
that's a professor, ridiculous
That's how
stuff.
indoctrinated, But
And this is in
nowadays,
2017. I mean, I think I stopped going in like 2018. Um, so I definitely need to make sure that not much has changed with the course for me to be able to finish it up. But again, it's not like you're getting any. I'm not getting anything from it. I don't ever plan on working for another individual ever again. Not in the capacities that I have. I would subcontract and do things with some projects, but anyway.
So the other thing, so that one I wasn't able to capitalize on. Actually, lost money because I ended up owing a lot of money for college because I ended up going through almost to the end. So the second one, there's been various smaller ones, but the second one paid off for me. It was cryptocurrency. It was Bitcoin. So in 2013, I found Bitcoin and immediately knew it was the future. It was going to be big. It was going to change the world, et cetera, et cetera. So that one.
If you don't mind me asking, the very first time you purchased Bitcoin, what was the price?
The price of Bitcoin was $87 first night.
Wow.
I think it was like 92 the second night, 90 something the second night.
Wow. Yeah. Crazy. And I know you got in early with Doge. I'm not sure how.
Early with Doge.
I would expect that you did something with XRP, even though you're not a fan of the banker coin.
I never bought XRP, not one. I have never had one coin of XRP.
I've seen a lot of people's lives change that were early investors in XRP and then took advantage of the 2017 time period.
Yep.
Because we had hit over $1.
And so that's why you have an XRP army, because they're associating and it's understandable. It's understandable if a coin changed my life financially, like XRP, then I would be, XRP army too.
I would think XRP, but I don't know that I would still be, because I still know what it is. I'm away. I can't get in on the argument of supporting a banker's coin. I can't get in the argument of supporting a World Economic Forum partner. I can't get on the board of joining the World Economic Forum to try to destroy it from the inside out. I can't get in on that shit.
But Rice, you got to understand something. The person that got into XRP in the first place back then probably wasn't as intelligent or had as much knowledge about all the stuff you're talking about. They were just getting in because it was the hype. Their friend told them to get in. Blase splee. They get in, they make a lot of money, and then maybe they find out, oh, okay, it's a banker coin. But at this point, it's like, shoot, I can make more money from this.
Right.
I can change my life and my family's lives further, regardless if it's a banker coin or not. I can take advantage and hack the system and become independently wealthy and all of that. So that's
I definitely am like more kudos to people who are able to change their life regardless. So since you mentioned XRP, do you have any Cryptodamus predictions for XRP, maybe with the SEC case? And
you've heard me on Around the Blockchain.
Yeah, but we're here.
I say it almost every damn time I'm on there.
So what's going to happen?
They're going to lose.
Straight up lose.
They're going to straight up lose. They're
and Ethereum overall will be a security. Because that would mean losing.
Hold on, man. You're switching subjects real quick on me.
You just said they would lose. In order to lose, they would be. I'm not trying to blow Cryptodamus' mind.
Yeah, the Cryptodamus.
But you're saying lose, and lose means that they are a security because they're being sued for being a.
You said Ethereum though. Then you pivoted to Ethereum.
I thought I said XRP. If I said Ethereum, I didn't mean to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
that was a fuck up.
There. Yeah, XRP is going to lose. They're going. Ripple is going to settle. Okay, pay whatever fine, and I think XRP will be deemed as security. Ripple will move on. Overall, Ripple will move on. They'll continue to do what they're doing, acquire companies, blah blah blah. They'll do well.
The only thing I'll disagree with you on that, we'll see what happens, is I don't think that XRP itself will be deemed a security overall. I think it would be the early sales of what took place with XRP.
You can't do that.
I believe that they can, because I'm trying to look into that, whatever John Deaton is doing. It's like an amicus brief or something. It's some weird legal fucking term that he's doing in an additional case.
Doesn't make sense. It's black and white in my opinion, Rice. It's either or. We've never seen a case the SEC has dealt with in crypto is they've done an amicus and only said those coins from earlier are. It's no
Well, I'm
way
definitely going to be paying
to
attention
separate.
because it's going to have an effect on the market, 100%. And
It's gonna have a
if it's
negative
sealed,
effect.
it's definitely going to create more precedents. And between library and that case, it could do a lot of damage depending on who's
So a lot of
running
people
the
who have
SEC.
their heads stuck up their asses, they're XRP assholes, just completely disregarded the library case. And I told everyone before the library verdict came out, I said this is going to be the blueprint, even though there were other blueprints, but I said this is the most recent and closest example that we can use as a litmus test for what's going to happen with XRP. And they lost. And they did less security-esque things than XRP has done in the past. And they lost. So I can't see in anyone's right mind, I just don't see Rice XRP winning. But I was pretty firm on it before even library. The library just sealed the deal for me.
No, I get it. Case. I get it. So what are your Cryptodamus predictions for Bitcoin in 2023?
So we may see a run up just because there are, if you take a look at like the stock market, we've seen a decoupling a little bit from the stock market and Bitcoin as of recently. One prime example is looking at the data that came out yesterday or the day before, and we saw the markets jump or drop, and Bitcoin did absolutely nothing. So I really think that there are no more sellers. Like everyone else's money is locked up in FTX or something. Like there are no more sellers. So we're looking for buyers. The only capitulation that we may see will come from exchanges possibly selling on the backs of XRP case and big whales, XRP case, and then there's you have the Grayscale, Gemini, DCG. That whole situation is a hot mess. That is going to rattle the markets as well.
So I'm trying to double check this, whether or not this is correct or not, but I had seen something about Huobi apparently was like halting withdrawals. But I haven't seen a whole lot more on that. I do see like news about layoffs where they've laid off 20% of their staff or getting ready to cut 20% of their staff. But I thought I had saw something last night about a
Crocodile says the library is not financially like Ripple to fight the case. This is true. They did not have the resources in that regard.
No, and I think library actually now, like from what I understand, I got to get in touch with Jeremy Kaufman, but the library protocol will continue to exist, but I think library is done. Correct. And I think they're focusing on Odyssey, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, correct. So XRP, I don't even follow all their stuff like XRP Ledger or whatever it's called.
The XRPL.
XRPL, that's going to continue to exist. Like the blockchain will still be there. People will still use it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying SEC wins and then it just poof disappears. You know,
it's going to be interesting though, with them being a World Economic Forum, with them being partners with all these banks, and if the other banks in the world are wanting to use XRP as a remittance service.
They won't. That's another
because of the SEC. Because of the SEC,
no,
you think?
Before that, no bank or sovereign nation is going to use a quote unquote privately created blockchain for their system or rails. They're never going to do that. They're going to create their own rails,
which is a possibility. It's definitely a possibility.
They'll never give Ripple that much power.
Where do you see? Let me try to word this question the right way. I'm thinking about price action with Bitcoin.
Okay, yeah. So price action.
Do you see it? Like, do you have time frames with your Cryptodamus powers to look into like when we might see a price action bottom, when we may see a yearly top. I'm not, because I know we're not going to have all-time highs this year, but a yearly top above where we are. Do you think we're going to end the year higher than we are now?
I have not charted it to look, and I don't even plan on, because I don't even care. As long as there's volatility, I'm gonna make money. So I don't even chart that stuff anymore. And most of the time, 99% of those predictions are wrong. No one knows. There are too many variables, unknown unknowns, to even try to say where Bitcoin's top will be for the year or bottom will be for the year. I mean, we can have a blackout. We can have an EMP. We can have a World War III. There are so many unknown unknowns. It's pointless to even make a prediction in that manner. What all I could say, if all things equal, like, you know, with a deviation of or two, like you know, maybe Grayscale blow up or Gemini or something like that. Nothing too major. I call them gray swans. Gray swans. Other than a gray swan, I don't see us making new highs for sure. I do see us heading lower, but we might go higher before going lower just because there are no more sellers. I know I'm not giving you anything in detail.
No, you're not. You're being a really shitty Cryptodamus right now, actually.
I think in concepts, and my gut feeling is telling me that we go lower. We definitely go lower. Now, does the higher come before the lower, or the lower first, then the high? I can't tell you.
Okay, well, let's project to December. Do you see us ending 2023 higher in price than where we are now?
Where are we? 16,000?
Somewhere around about 16.5 ish. I can tell you 100% exactly.
We're about 17,000 almost.
We're at 6. Oh yeah, so we're actually up a little bit today. We're up 16.9 roughly right now. So right under 17.
If you can show my, I have to share my screen, I think.
Yeah, you do, because you stopped it.
Yep, let me share it really quickly with you guys and show you where we are with the My2 Satoshi chart that I review every day.
The other thing, the only other thing I want to discuss beyond this is just kind of getting your thoughts on what we're looking at on an economic global scale, United States dollar and global economics.
Yes. See, I can talk about that for sure, because that's a machine that is much bigger, and it takes a lot of time for it to turn, so you can predict a little bit better.
Yeah, it's like a big, huge truck making a turn. It has to start turning the wheel way before it makes the turn.
Correct.
So yeah, and that's the one thing I was telling the BLS guy, is that I don't think that we've really felt the pain from all the inflation yet. I mean, we're seeing higher costs, but it hasn't gotten like super painful. I don't see food lines yet.
Yeah, they'll start printing before that happens. But if you take a look at this My2 Satoshi chart, this is my channel that we've pretty much been in for eternity. But we tried to jump above that channel today and got rejected. Now, if we close this candle in 30 seconds, we close like this. Is very bearish on the 1 hour. Very bearish chart. So I would assume that we would traverse and head lower from this, because we're about to close it now in 17 seconds. So I do see us probably heading lower from here. Big volume on that too. Big volume on that candle.
Tonight, full moon. And again, full moons do have a fucking effect on this shit. Yeah. So I think, and like I said yesterday, I really think that between today and next Friday, it's going to be pretty fucking nasty.
Okay. So that's a possibility. I do believe in that stuff.
Did you watch that interview?
I was watching it. I was about 20 minutes in.
Okay.
5 minutes in.
I would definitely like to get your thoughts. And I'm just for people who are paying attention, I'm referencing the interview that I put out yesterday with Jordan from Waters Above. He's got a really interesting perspective, man. And if you go back and watch some of his videos, he can actually like show you in some weird ways like how these things play out. And then the fact that he was able to point out some things to me, and then I look back at it little bit further that when the Terra Luna crashed, there was a lunar eclipse. And then the day that everything started with the FTT crash, there was a lunar eclipse. It's just weird how that shit corresponds, man. And how he was talking about thinking that the people that created the stock markets were astrologers.
Yeah, I was at that point. I was a little bit past that point. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the case.
And that may not be factual. I want to look more into that.
Right.
But it seems really interesting when you start thinking about that time period, because the use of astrology was a very forefront and a very respected field. And then it got turned into something totally different, like with the whole Miss Cleo's shit.
So, as far as Bitcoin, why I'm concerned about crypto and Bitcoin is because we've never seen Bitcoin or cryptos in an environment where we had constant QT, quantitative tightening.
Right. So we're in a
Jerome tried it
tightening
in 2009. Mm-hmm.
With deflationary.
2019. Yeah, he tried it in 2019. Then we got the temper tantrum that occurred. Repo markets went crazy. All this stuff, right? Advanced.
A taper tantrum.
A taper tantrum. The inner workings of the banking system was all in disarray, so he had to stop. Ironically enough, what happens shortly thereafter? COVID.
Yeah, because you're talking about late like late Q3,
September,
early Q4 of 2019.
Yes.
With the repo markets, the overnight lending of the banks.
Correct. It was literally we were in a situation, Rice, where we were almost at a 2008 crisis again. Literally hours away.
Yeah, I know. And then March conveniently, when you mentioned the C19, March conveniently, we've seen the lowest point in Bitcoin hitting around the 3K mark, and we've seen the stock market get halted several times to prevent it from crashing, which took place in 2008. So between the repo market situation and March of 2020, it was definitely, we were on the brink of falling apart.
Yes. And so that was only a glimpse that we had of a reversion to the mean or to some type of normalcy since 2008. And I think we're trying to do that again. However, this time is different. I know everyone says, well, this time is different. Actually, this time is different because this time we can't go back to quantitative easing because we're in the middle of an inflation fight, right? So they're literally going to have to let the stock markets crash and head further. I know your guy Waters was talking about, he feels like the stock market was going to go much lower than the crypto markets. I disagree.
You think crypto will go lower than the stock market?
Yeah, they're intertwined because listen, at this point, Wall Street has hijacked crypto. So what I mean by that is, if you have the markets in his scenario, he believes the stock markets are going to head lower. Well, guess what? Those people in Wall Street that have positions in stocks, they get margin calls. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to, of course, sell stocks in other areas where they're still profitable or haven't lost as much, but they're also going to sell crypto.
Yeah, but with the crypto market being so small, it'd be easier for them to manipulate and be able to make profit to offset their losses with the stock market too, though. So I mean, there could be I don't know, man.
No,
and
they're going to grab gains from wherever they can to cover their margin calls in the stock market, and if they have anything left, and even if it's in the red, they're going to sell crypto to cover their margins.
It's definitely something I'm going to be paying attention to, man. I mean, would you agree with what I'm about to say? And that is that I think economically things are going to get a lot worse this year in general.
Much worse, man. I'm concerned. And
are you paying attention to like what the Fed minutes came out with, basically saying that they're, as of now, they do not foresee them
there wasn't
like
one
backing
person
down.
that dissented. Yeah, there wasn't one dissent. Everyone is saying, go ahead.
Which, I mean, it's interesting because if they continue to raise the fucking interest rates, we're going to have more situations happen with like what happened in Great Britain, where these other foreign currencies that are compared against the dollar are going to be having more problems because of the increase of interest rates. Because we've already seen the IMF come
Most of the
out
world
and
borrows their
warn,
debt in dollar,
right? And
right? So if the
IMF
dollar
is
is more expensive,
warning the Fed, and they're saying don't raise any more interest rates. And we raised 75 basis points. People are expecting 50 the beginning of, I'm thinking it's still 50 the beginning of February 1st and
yeah, a
2nd.
lot of people are. It probably will be. They're just gonna keep a steady pace of 50 basis points every hike, boom, boom, just 50 cent us to death.
But at some point, when they raise the interest rates to a certain point, it's going to cause the United States to default on its own debt.
No, because all of our debt that we've raised or created won't roll over anytime soon. That's the misconception. See, all that new debt, all that new money that we've printed in the last 2 years, it wasn't on short-term debt. It was on 30-year money. You see what I'm saying?
30-year treasury bonds.
Yes, it was issued in those out on the curve. It wasn't issued on short-term debt. So we're
But you're
locked in
seeing
at
the
those.
inversion in the yield curve because now, like, people are getting close to 5% return on a 6-month treasury bond.
Right, but the issue is going to be not on the debt that's been issued in the past 2 years from the Federal Reserve or the government. It's going to be on anything going forward. That's the problem. It will be on that new money, that new debt will be at a higher clip, at a higher interest rate, because they have to go
So
out
that's
into the
borrowing
market.
that's borrowing into the future. Like, what do they mean by that?
No, I'm saying that if they want to, like today, if the government wants to be irresponsible and raise debt ceilings and borrow more money, it's going now today it's costing them more. Any new debt is going to cost them way more money than it would have 2 years ago, a year ago, because we were damn near at zero.
Right.
It was easy for them to go out and issue debt
Now
at a very low cost.
pushing a CBDC, in theory, from the way I'm understanding it, would give the central banks a lot more control over manipulating the way the inflation looks. And it kind of allows them to kind of keep this fiat game that pretty much is at an end to continue on. What are your
1
thoughts on
second,
that?
I just gotta get rid of these. I have to remove
You got some people in your
this
chat?
user. Yeah, I got a spammer.
That's always the best.
Sorry about that.
How many people we got watching on your channel?
47 right now. Let's put these. If I have any moderators, please hide this spam sheep gift stuff.
Yeah, my views have been down. It's like I'm even being further shadow banned. It feels like, man, it's just fucking getting old. There's 22 people watching here, which I greatly appreciate, and I'll talk with you after we're done streaming here in a few about some of my game plan. But I don't think I'm going to Miami at the end of this month for Quantum, and I just think I'm going to focus on work until April for Consensus.
We gotta talk anyway because we got some stuff we're gonna do together.
Yeah.
So what was the question you were asking? I'm sorry, I have to take care of that.
Trying to go back and think of the question I was asking. It was in relation to CBDC and whether or not it would allow for them to keep this fiat game going longer, because obviously we're at the end of this cycle, but they don't want to kind of give up where we're at.
Going to,
right? Because the dollar is still technically the world reserve currency.
Yeah, and so this is the thing where people oversimplify the end of the dollar because it's just not going to like every nation has most of their debt denominated in USDs. It's not going to happen overnight, guys. Like I'm talking maybe another 20 years of this easily. So
well, yeah, but I mean, if let's say we go to it, let's say we launch a CBDC and everything goes very successful this year, and other nations, I mean, if other nations stop using their currencies and everybody started using dollars, it would change the game up and allow for it to continue. And I'm just wondering if that's part of the plan, is making a digital dollar kind of a world global currency. Be interesting to see.
Yeah. So CBDCs can kick us a little bit. I think that the scenario I see Rice playing out with CBDCs is that they'll do an airdrop basically to the citizens. They'll say
in
go
your
to
in your Federal Reserve account.
correct. Sign up. Get if you want a free $100 or a free $1,000 worth of USD, whattever. Sign up with it wouldn't be that much. Most likely be like a couple $100 or whatever.
But I mean, so, like I think it's either Italy, France, or UK is like I think they're helping their citizens out with like 10% of their grocery costs. So something like that would be really easy to refund in a CBDC.
Well, the great thing about CBDCs is that it's fully programmable. So they could give us $1,000, but you can only spend it at XYZ or in this area, or they
You
can
said the
geofence it. They can
good thing for them is that it's
for them,
programmable.
yeah.
Yeah.
They can have an expiration date on those funds, so they can do a lot. And the monetary policy is going to be a game changer. Like the way they'll be able to manipulate the money supply, M1, M2, and all that will be instantaneous.
That's what
It's
I'm
going to be
saying.
crazy.
That's where I'm thinking that they would be able to keep the game, stretch it out longer.
Oh yeah, they're going to keep it going. Come on, guys.
Because we
I
keep
try.
thinking that the dollar is
I
just going to
try to be
crash
no.
and
I try to be hyper realistic. I get that from uh, Ray Dalio. I've always not pretty much always been that way, but he kind of coined it hyper realistic. Come on, man. We're not
well,
going to
I will
give up.
say
We're
though,
not just
man,
going to bend over and it'll be kinetic war before that happens. We will do some crazy false flag event to call, come on, that. We're never just
I'm
going to
just
give
curious
up.
to see what's going to happen because we do have formidable opponents. I mean, when we think about the BRICS nation banks and them issuing their own SDR, Russia backing their ruble with gold,
Let me explain something
the
to you,
fact that
man.
it's 30
We have
over
black budget
33% of the
programs.
world GDP.
Listen, we have technology that if need be, we can unleash some shit. You
So
know
do other
that.
people though too though.
I think we're ahead. I personally think we're ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I
Roswell,
definitely
you
hope that
go
we
from
don't see those.
Roswell, going
Yeah,
back
but
to
all
that
that stuff. I
stuff.
mean, this is another conversation. But when you go back and look at what happened in Germany in World War II, there seemed to be a lot of technology that the Germans had too that wasn't available either. So who the fuck
True.
knows? We're
Antarctica
definitely
and all
getting in
that.
some Jarucka Christ territory.
Jarucka Christ, baby. It's getting real Jaruckerish.
It is.
Getting real Jaruckerish.
I think this is a good place for us to wrap up. Unless you have any other predictions that Cryptodamus wants to share. That's
Yeah, Red Robles. We've been saying his name incorrectly for a long time. He corrected me yesterday. He said, "How much above the principal do you remove? I normally remove my initial investment and let it rise. Yeah, I just whatever is over my initial, whatever I have in my account as the amount that I'm trading, I just remove that every week if possible. Now
okay.
the
So
last 2 weeks
it's
I
not
haven't.
red. It's not red robles.
No,
Robles.
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 I know.
Well, then he should have done Rojo Robles. Then I would have got it. But when you're doing like red Robles, that totally screws me up because it's like you're combining English and another language. So if you were Rojo, which is Spanish for red, then I would have totally got Rojo Robles, but not
Yeah.
red Robles. Red Robles.
Yeah,
All right, man.
no, but that's it, man. Guys, definitely check it out if you're interested in Bloodalytics. Um, I trade over at Fair Desk. I think I don't know if you have the link in yours. I have the link in my description for Fair Desk.
I
You
don't
save
because I haven't started using
25%
them.
off.
I'm going to have to start using them, and I got to reach back out to them in regards to a partnership because I think they kind of like an affiliate deal or something like that.
Yeah, they do have an affiliate program. I think it's the standard as all the other ones, like 30%, 40% or something like that of commission.
Well, I would definitely encourage people that are watching, if they want to take advantage, get that 25% discount. Make sure that you're using my promo code RiceTV25 at checkout. It's a good way to support Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain. Go to bloodalytics.com. Check out cryptoblood.io, and also make sure you're subscribed to Crypto Blood CBTV. All the links are down below in the video description. Do you have anything you want to add before we wrap up? Any final thoughts?
No, that's it, man.
Cool.
That's it, bro.
Well, it's the weekend, man.
Trading. Huh?
It's the weekend, so I definitely encourage everybody to have a great weekend. And again, if you guys haven't had an opportunity, make sure you're checking out those previous episodes that me and Blood have done together on both of our channels. We did a conversation a few weeks ago with Crypto Keeper from Debate Crypto. The following week was with Hotep Jesus. And then the following week on a Saturday, which was last weekend, we did a year-end review for crypto in 2022. So make sure you guys are checking those out. And then another thing I'll tell you is make sure you subscribe to both me and Crypto Blood's Rumble channels. Links are going to be in the video description as well. There are some uncensored conversations. There are 3 that we have done so far that you can find over on Rumble and Odyssey that you will not find anywhere on YouTube. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, make sure you're taking advantage of my 25% discount for Bloodalytics. And before I wrap things up, I'm going to leave you with this. I encourage you to be a blessing to others. Treat people how you want to be treated. Be the glitch you want to see in the matrix. Be the change you want to see in the world. And until next time, practice change and holla.
Holla.